Hi guys, this is Classart in the triple commentary with the irrepressible Rise and the indefatigable Cholera. And this is the winners matchup of the MSL Group F round of 32. We've had 2 games already. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. Otherwise, the result of this will be spoiled for you during this. Boy, who would have thought it was going to come to this? This is going to be Flash versus Hwasin. Flash looked like he was going to get beaten down by Firebat Hero, who had the early edge on him, but Flash managed to pull out all the stops, and in a display of Terran versus Terran genii, managed to dispose of Firebat Hero in that matchup, which has led to Rise's further conviction that Firebat Hero is in a slump, although I'm not sure I'm buying that just yet. Hwasin, meanwhile, caught Jaedong off guard, and fortunately Jaedong was too busy washing his hands after going to the toilet and didn't notice Hwasin sneaking in through the back door to deal some real damage. So this is going to be Hwasin versus Flash, and the winner of this round will definitely be through to the round of 16. I think Rise must be glowing right now because no one else predicted this.
That's right. Who is smiling now? Rise is, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely. I really predicted this far, but wait, no, did I predict that Hwasin was going to be Jaedong? I don't even remember.
No, you didn't predict that. You
but I almost claimed that I did. Well, I still think Firebat Hero is going to win, okay? But Hwasin, I do not think is going to be able to win against Flash. I think that Flash has some of the best TVT out there, and just really some of the best game sense out there in general. We saw it before in the last game that he played against Firebat Hero, coming from behind, a position that nobody thought that he was really going to be able to come back from, considering he was at a build order loss. But really proving us all wrong and showing us why he is Flash. And so anyway, it looks like the players are playing on Destination, and I think I actually missed which player is what. Did you guys catch that?
Flash is purple, top 12 o'clock, and Hwasin is teal, 6 o'clock.
Perfect. So obviously Destination not going to have any stats for TVT, but I do expect to see some interesting tactics from both players. This is a big game. Flash wants to win this because if he does, he moves on, and Hwasin obviously wants to win this because nobody thought that he'd get out of this group to begin with. So both players definitely probably very hungry for this win, and both players reeling off a great victory each.
Oh wow, this guy. A poster of giant snot bubbles coming out of his nose. Wow, that is awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
hope he's not. I hope he's a Firebat Hero fan.
There's a picture of toilet paper on that.
So random. Looks like both players are going to keep their barracks inside of their base. Oftentimes on this map we see forward Raxes, although Flash most likely is going to take his Rax off, and so will Hwasin actually. Both of them are looking like they're going to lift off right after that Rax is done and use it to do as a forward scout. And looks like Flash now is actually sending out a scouting SCV, something Hwasin has not done yet. We'll see who decides to go for the fast expand and who decides to go for a fast tech here, or if both of them go for fast expands. It's certainly a possibility in this map. We've seen a lot of long Terran versus Terrans, which become a big fight over position, because on both sides of the map, on the left 9 o'clock and the right 3 o'clock, there are expansions, and there's also a high expansion next to them where you can shell that expansion. So, you know, both of these players are going to have problems trying to pick up their third base. I mean, the first expansion should not be a big deal. But anyway, it looks like Flash now has gotten into Hwasin's base. He's seeing that Hwasin has only got 1 SCV on gas, so this is lending me to think that he's going to go for a standard fast expand. Meanwhile, we haven't gotten a chance to see what Flash is doing right now. We'll see if he does anything in reaction to this, or if he also plays standard. I imagine he'll probably play standard, you know, given that he started off, you know, with a standard build, and he probably should be going into an expansion too. And it looks like he will be, because there's no SCVs buying gas.
Yeah, Flash almost got burnt last game because he scouted late. So this time he sent that SCV out pronto, and that is one of the Flash's main Achilles heel. I think Flash doesn't lack in his game sense, he doesn't lack in his micro, he doesn't lack in his macro, he doesn't lack in his decision making. What he lacks in sometimes is, because of his young age, he gets a little bit too good for himself, and he gets a little bit overconfident, a little bit arrogant, and he starts doing things like 14 CCing 5 times in a row, which really you shouldn't be doing. And sometimes he decides not to scout. And every time he's let his arrogance get the better, of him, he's paid the price for it. So this time, Flash is not going to try and do anything crazy. He knows that he's good enough to beat Hwasin one-on-one, straight up, fist fight, punch versus punch. He's going to be the one standing if that happens, and he knows he's good enough to do that. So why should he take the risk? Why should he do something silly, especially when his opponent is not forcing him to? And so really the pressure is going to be on Hwasin to try and raise his game to that level, to try and gain some sort of advantage, try and pull off some sort of maneuver to put Flash on the back foot. But we've seen just how strong Flash can fight when he's cornered.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going to play standard, and if he's playing standard, I think Hwasin is in trouble right off the bat. Really, Flash is going to be unstoppable, I think, this game, as well as he was last game. If he does anything like the last game with his Vulture control, then Hwasin is in a lot of trouble if he can deal with the micro of Flash, who, by the way, was taking out equal number of Vultures or had more Vultures than Firebat Hero, who had more factories for the first half of the game when he was still trying to catch up. So really, I think that Flash is just on point these days. Not to say that Hwasin isn't, but there's also one other slight advantage, I gotta say, that Flash has at this point, and that is he just played a TVT. Now, if you ever play in games of StarCraft, you'll notice that you tend to play the same race better and better and better, whereas if you're switching constantly, it's more difficult. So if Flash only practiced TVT and can win both in a row, he may have prepared well for this. That may have been a strategy going into this. Just play a lot of TVTs for practice. Don't even practice against Zerg because he knows he's got a good Zerg game anyway, and just get his way out of this match as soon as possible, out of this set. And really, that could have been some of the practice theory behind this. And Hwasin now with a lot of Vultures, 3 factories, and it looks like he's upgrading probably speed at this point, maybe mines, I don't know which. And he's going to try to do some harassment, whereas Flash, I haven't gotten a good factory count. Oh, there it is right there. He's getting his 3rd factory down now, and it looks like Flash is actually trying to go in, but he's going to be forced back because of those bridges that are so difficult to cross.
Looks like we're going to see all Vulture mid-game here. Just like I said, Destination's a great map for Vulture play, and TVT, we often see Vultures for a very, very, very long time before any kind of transition in tech. We just saw Flash win coming from behind with his Vulture play, so I do expect him to do well in this game, although it looks like Hwasin put down his 3rd factory a little bit earlier than Flash did, so he's got a couple more Vultures than Flash does. We'll see if that makes a difference, though. Flash a little bit pinned right now in his natural expansion. Hwasin has a containing force there, although it's about equally sized as Flash's. So right now the game is very close. Both players probably finishing, they're probably going for mines right now, is my guess. They've already gotten speed done, I believe. And right now it's just basically neither player can really go across the bridge unless they manage to pull something off on the other player, like divide their army, or the other player just has his Vulture somewhere else. So I think in general though, Hwasin is just, I just don't think he's going to be able to handle this, because I think Hwasin has gotten far in a lot of tournaments, but he just seems to fall apart against the better players. He can beat a lot of decent players, but I just don't know about how he can handle these high-pressure situations, and this is definitely a pressure situation here against Flash.
Well, I think what counts hugely in Hwasin's favor is that this is a BO1. I would agree with you if this was a BO3 or BO5, but at this level, any player can take one game off an opponent. And it just takes that one stroke of luck, that one minor lapse in concentration to really clinch the game. Flash has got his siege tanks out earlier than Hwasin it would look like, but we've got a little bit of a reversal in fortunes here. In the last game, what happened was that Flash versus Firebat Hero, Flash had the spider mines outside Firebat Hero's choke, but this time it's Hwasin who's set up position. And if he's able to get that siege tank up there and get it in position before Flash can clear it out, Flash is going to be landlocked into his base at the top left, at the top of the map, and Flash really needs to get rid of some of these spider mines quickly so that he can clear the path. Right now he's trying to do exactly that, but Hwasin is going to have a decent position set up once he gets his siege tanks in position, and the difference here is that Firebat Hero knew that he couldn't allow Flash to set up all those spider mines outside his choke, which is why he was constantly venturing out with his own Vultures trying to counter, but unfortunately because of the nature of this map of Destination, Flash can't do what Firebat Hero did in the last game, but Flash now finally is broken. Looks like he's going to take his damage with siege tank. Siege tank is going to get taken out by the spider mines, and he loses the first siege tank. Desperation for Flash. He's lost one siege tank already. He did have one siege tank extra compared to Hwasin's, but those spider mines laid down by Hwasin already paying him back. Flash meanwhile's got his obviously he's got his comp set, he's got his academy up, he's building another machine shop in one of his factories, but he hasn't gotten the key thing here is that Hwasin hasn't managed to trap Flash. I think Hwasin could have tried to put a little bit more pressure on him, but I guess he didn't have his siege tanks out in time. So Flash has lost the one siege tank, but right now it's very much even Stevens, and it is going to come down to that macro battle in the middle of the game, and we know that Flash does tend to excel at that, but Hwasin is a good chance. All he has to do is hold his side of the bridge and try and maybe force Flash into making some sort of error.
And look at this. Flash actually harassing Hwasin from the back, just in that little alcove, which just lets you put one unit back there and fire on it incessantly. If he could get a siege tank back there, that'd be awesome. But with the mobility of the vultures, he's able to get one back there really quick, do enough harassment to take units off from mining minerals, and just enough to delay Hwasin a little bit more. So now Hwasin trying to push out, trying to establish map control, but Flash at this point, now that he's broken out, he's not going to let that happen. And both players using the barracks to do a lot of scouting, get as much information as they can, which is very important in this position that they're in. And it looks like at this point, actually look at the mini map. It looks like Flash is running all around with his vultures. He's going to head right into the middle of Hwasin's base. He's got a ton of vultures heading over to Hwasin, and Hwasin has nothing. Hwasin's bringing his forces back. He's going to lose those tanks, and now he's just going to fight off those vultures. And if he can get across the bridge before losing all those vultures, but no, he's going to come back and fight the vultures. But it looks like Hwasin actually has more vultures than Flash does, and Flash is going to lose all those vultures. And this is going to kill Flash. He's going to be at such a unit disadvantage. He just lost a huge amount of vultures, probably 2 control groups, and now he's only got one, not even one control group of units, most of them being tanks, and they're going to be very vulnerable to spider mines. So if Hwasin can keep it up and keep laying mines, he's just going to delay Flash even more. If he can go in kamikaze, he's going to have an easy time taking out those tanks. But it looks like Flash has reestablished that perimeter that he had with that line of tanks, so it looks like Hwasin is actually going to back off, but that could have been really bad for Flash.
Oh, this could be bad. Oh, no, it looks like Hwasin actually had enough units there to kill off the mines before they got anywhere. You're absolutely right, though. Flash has temporarily lost a unit advantage here, but he has gotten a positional advantage. Like I said, this map is all about holding the bridges. If you can hold the bridges, you win the game. You know, it's kind of like the battle of, Operation Market Garden, World War II, actually, where paratroopers from the British and the Americans dropped all over Belgium and the Netherlands, and they failed because they couldn't reach their bridges. They were trying to capture all these bridges, and it's kind of the same thing. Bridge too far. And here we're seeing, right now, Hwasin's deciding that he's got an opening here. He's pushing up into the middle, past the set of bridges, and now he's going to go and try to take out Flash's tanks. He's having great success here against Flash's tanks, and this is absolutely horrible for Flash. Flash had a positional advantage, but he was forced to defend at 2 locations, both around his natural expansion and around his second expansion there at the right side. Hwasin, meanwhile, has not gotten any more expansions, and it looks like he actually doesn't have any more units. So I thought that was going to be disastrous for Flash, but he doesn't have any more forward mobility until he gets some reinforcements there. Flash, meanwhile, definitely trying to hold. Yeah, Hwasin definitely has more units than Flash, and obviously Flash tried to take that expansion earlier than Hwasin at the 2 o'clock position, and as a result, Hwasin saw an opening and went into the middle. So great play by Hwasin. Hwasin is not going to actually be able to sneak in with his vultures because he's forced Flash to pull away from that bridge. So Hwasin has actually been able to cross that bridge and now get position on it, and Flash is really struggling here because he's trying to fight on 2 fronts at the same time. I think Flash has overextended himself. He's expanded too soon, and now he's struggling to hold his defenses. Obviously, if he can hold it long enough, he's going to come out on top with the economic advantage, but it looks like Hwasin is now also expanding at the 8 o'clock expansion now that he's established a lockdown on Flash, and Hwasin is actually looking to be in a very strong position, and this could be disastrous here because if Flash loses this, that means that only one of either Flash or Jadon will make it out of this group alive, and Hwasin now coming around with vultures again, surrounding Flash's tank up on that cliff that was just holding back Hwasin's forces with a brilliant vulture mine, takes out Flash's tanks, and Hwasin is almost, and brilliant by Flash, suiciding vulture with 2 spider mines, takes out 2 of Hwasin's tanks, but Flash is still in huge trouble because Hwasin's reinforcements are marauding through, and now Flash's expansion is vulnerable at the 2 o'clock position. He's going to lose a lot of those SCVs to Hwasin. He's going to kill about 5, 6, 7. Siege tank hit goes off. He loses about 8 SCVs. 10 SCVs go down for Flash. And that's got to be, I think, folks, that's probably GG right there. I think Hwasin is going to take this game now. That 10 SCV kill is just going to be too much for Flash to recover from. And Flash really overextended himself. And Hwasin struck right at the right time. He didn't allow Flash to establish that defensive perimeter. Knew that Flash wouldn't have enough units to defend 2 places. Sent all of his units right down the middle. Stuck them down Flash's throat and made him swallow them.
Yeah, dividing and conquering and doing it well. Flash now trying to reestablish that base, but he's not going to be able to do that. Hwasin just has plenty of troops there, and he's only sending a few himself, and with more spider mines on those vultures, no, it looks like they're just going to get in range and attack from there, which is fine, and they do a great job of taking out all those units, and now Flash fighting an uphill battle, trying to get in there, but he's just not going to be able to do that with less forces than what Hwasin is defending with, and now he's in danger of losing the gas at his natural expansion, and if he loses the gas at his natural expansion, that's definitely GG. Hwasin, of course, waiting for the right time to expand. He's now expanded at the, I guess it's the 8 o'clock position on his side of the map, and he's going to be in a great, comfortable position to really make use of that expansion and defend it for that matter, now that he's reestablished map control for himself. And really, I think that,
Wow.
oh man, and losing that gas is going to be huge.
Ouch.
In a TVT, there's not much more that you want than gas, and really, I don't think there's any way at this point for Flash to come back from.
I mean, I understand Flash's logic. He was saying, okay, I'm going to go do this great vulture harass, and I'm going to expand at the same time. So, you know, I attack and I defend. I mean, attack so I can pick up an expansion, but it just was a poorly executed attack. I don't think he thought it out enough. I think he had a positional advantage by that point, and his attack just, you know, really cost him the ability to get that expansion up because, like you said, he wasn't able to defend it successfully. Here comes Flash short of. He really needs to take out this group of tanks up there, but he has the low ground, whereas Hwasin has the high ground. And look at this. I mean, the clumps of tanks are still alive there, still denying Flash a second gas. Flash is going to have to go slowly uphill. When he clears it out, he's already going to be way behind. And, you know, I just didn't like that idea. I mean, he could have gone for the vulture harass, but not expanded. He could have expanded and not gone for the vulture harass, but I think going for both at the same time just led him to this epic failure that he had right now, that he had just a few minutes ago, and led him to this horrible situation he's in right now. Look at that Wraith starting to kill off tanks for Flash also. Flash far away from getting any anti-air, and that could do a lot of damage before it's resolved.
Yeah, and that Wraith is also providing scouting information, although the tanks are on high ground. But Flash is now pincered. He's got about 7 or 8 tanks, and that's pretty much all that he has over there. And they're surrounded. And Hwasin has got a good number of tanks on the high ground. Hwasin hasn't been able to reinforce, but Hwasin, remember, is getting that control tower up. So he's going to have dropships very soon. Flash does have a couple of Goliaths coming around, though, so he's probably going to get rid of that Wraith. And Flash, meanwhile, has got a starport control tower of his own. But really, Hwasin, meanwhile, is also expanded, I think. It looks like Hwasin's almost expanded to the 9 o'clock base. So it looks like he's a floating command from looking at the minimap. He's floating command center over there, and really, there's just no way back to Flash for this. And yeah, it was that vulture harass. Flash trying to be adventurous, committing himself a little bit too early. And I think, you know, in a way, yes, you feel that Flash has made a mistake. You can give credit, and Flash is now coming around to the top with vultures and siege tanks to finally try and retake that expansion. He's going to be able to clear it out. He's floating the command center back over, but he's just so far behind now that there's no way he can come back. But yeah, you know, you can blame Flash for trying to be too risky, too adventurous, but I think part of what forced Flash to do this is the boredom of just back and forthing across bridges on this map. But Flash, meanwhile, looks like he's going to actually clear out what Hwasin's forces in the middle of the map. He's managed to take out the siege tanks, and yeah, exactly. And he's now established a decent position to defend himself from, but he's just going to be so badly outnumbered. Hwasin's just going to come right back, and Hwasin has got such a huge economic advantage as well that I think Flash is just really going to struggle. But Flash looks like he's going to try and make one more push down, or using the cliff to get those, and this could be crucial. This could be horrible for Hwasin here because he's got 6 siege tanks just below the cliff, and Flash has got the height advantage, but Flash has lost some of his siege tanks as well. He's only got 2 left. Hwasin's also got 2 left, and Flash just about, and looks like Hwasin is just about going to be able to hold. Hwasin now bringing in reinforcements with his vultures. Flash trying to stop, trying to get another expansion and realizing that he's far behind, unable to do so, and that was probably the last throw of the dice for Flash, I would guess.
Yeah, he almost came back with that little maneuver, but of course Hwasin was on top of it, and he was able to get troops back there to reinforce at the right time, preventing Flash from ever really securing that area. And now Flash is just too far behind in this game really to come back, and just going in with vultures and giving Flash some of his own medicine with actually Flash manages to take out all the spider mines. I thought that he was going to lose some tanks to that, but with some great micro, they're able to take them out before they can do any damage. And look at that, 3 dropships right at the starport for Hwasin, and so Hwasin going to now have the mobility advantage as well. And again, Flash trying to cross this Mason-Dixon line, but just not able to do so because the amount of reinforcing that Hwasin's able to do is just outpacing what Flash can put out. Flash, again, he was down a gas. He does have the top right base, but that's a mineral only. So really, Hwasin, although he's not really mining from his gas, he is in a position to really just take this match. Now with 4 drop ships, we're going to see him dropping units all over the expansions that are working for Flash. And look at that. Flash has no units there whatsoever, and he's just going to drop in the back corner. It's going to be so difficult for Flash to try to get position over here and trying to go with SCVs attacking all over the place, but he's not going to be able to do it. He's getting his tanks in position just at the slope of time. He's got plenty of vultures coming in the back. Oh, no, not plenty, only 3. And he does manage to fight it off, but really, the damage has been done. He took out almost all, if not all, the SCVs there. He got all of his dropships out. He's going back for more reinforcements. He's about to take out that gas as well, and there's just not much that Flash is going to be able to do at this point, although it looks like he is going to clean up that last force. I think that Flash just, again, he can't seem to make any headway against Hwasin, and that's just going to kill him.
Well, surprise, surprise. Oh, sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just going to not much to say. I mean, yeah, Hwasin basically has a dropship advantage, and that's what counts in late game turn versus turn, especially on a map where position's incredibly important. And he just had 3 gas when Flash had 1 for a little period of time. I mean, that is just something you can never come back from in TBT. And here we go. This could be the final drop here.
Yeah, Hwasin doesn't just have every advantage. It's like trying to compete with another guy for a girl, but he's better looking than you, smarter than you, stronger than you, and richer than you. You've got no chance, and that's where Flash found himself in this game against Hwasin. But surprise, surprise, Hwasin is the first player. Well, you know, you've got to know how to use it, right? So it's not unfortunate, you know. But according to the analogy, Hwasin would have it anyway, since he's got everything, right? But surprise, surprise. How many people would have predicted that Hwasin would have been the first player to qualify through this group, to beat Jaedong and then to beat Flash? That is incredible. That is what this guy is.
None of us did.
That is what this guy is. That is what Hwasin is capable of. I mean, Hwasin is one of those players who's always been on the brink. He's just always had the talent, but hasn't been able to hold it together in clutch situations. This time he's pulled through. He's definitely going to go to the next round, and I hope he can make it count, because he's just put one of Flash or Jaedong out of his competition, and I hope he can make up for it by his own stellar play.
I gotta say, I'm definitely very impressed by Hwasin's play. I mean, he did a great job in both of his matches. He proved that he is capable of hanging with the best, like you were saying. And I gotta say, I really expect him to do pretty well going forward, but we're gonna have to see if he can do, again, as he said, hold it together. Hwasin given the peace sign. By the way, in a battle of trying to win a woman, I think that Hwasin would have a much better chance than Flash. I don't know if that's worth anything, but my opinion.
I think Jaedong would beat all 3 of them, in my opinion. Jaedong's got the moves. Yeah, he's got the moves.
Cloudart has already beaten all 4 of them, but anyway.
Oh, wow, and with that, you know, we're going to have a desperate scramble now between between Jaedong, Flash, and Fire Red Hero for the last remaining seat out of here. I mean, this is going to be really intense here. Looking forward to the other games.